As someone who's probably the most average powerlifter, I'm always looking for ways to up my powerlifting game, especially with special bars. So today I'm going to review my new Tokyo open trap bar from Kensui. As an owner of a small home gym, versatility in the equipment is absolutely name of the game, even with specialty bars. So for me, the unique shape of this bar puts it one step higher than all the other standard hex type, open trap bars. If you want to find out whether this bar is capable of what you're expecting from it, if the price is right, this video is going to be for you. But before jumping into all the exercises that I can recommend with this bar, I want to talk about deadlifts, as that's my main motivation for buying this bar. The thing with deadlifts is that they're especially tough, at least for me, to get right with the correct position, with the right technique, and it's especially stressful because it's a higher risk of injury kind of exercise. As someone who works out alone in his basement without a coach or a community, I struggled with this for years. Never finding the right hip placement, shoulders, arms, putting the bar under tension. I feel like my back is always doing the lifting. And after doom scrolling deadlift tutorials for endless cues, none of them actually resonated with me. So I started looking for trap bars. And there are actually quite a few different variations out there. The top models from Rep and Rogue are super slick and they solve the problem really well. But I don't think I can justify $500 plus tax and plus shipping on just deadlifts. And then there's super budget options. For the longest time I looked at the bar from Orion or the Balance from Open Hex bar from Walmart. That's super cheap, but even a quick Reddit search will tell you that there's a very real chance that you won't actually get the advertised item, and I'd have driven to the US to grab it for that. So then I found this unique looking bar. It has an opening in the middle to get into the perfect deadlift position. It's a rackable small footprint bar, and the price is actually fairly reasonable. $349 Canadian plus tax. And if you consider they offer free shipping, it's a really good deal. So in a conventional deadlift, you're lifting the bar as close to your shins as possible because your legs are really in the way. It's not the most comfortable position in lift, at least for me. And if you deadlift with a bar that has a particularly aggressive knurl, you know that it can be quite uncomfortable when the bar is grinding through your legs. Tokyo trap bar makes it very easy to get into position. I don't have to align the bar in front of me, and the center of gravity is always just going to be perfect because I can actually get into the center of gravity with this bar. This allows for a way more comfortable position and confidence in the lift being right. That confidence turns into a great lift. Honestly, the first time I deadlifted with this bar, the weight I was lifting went up by 50 pounds very comfortably. No more back pain, no more stressing about injury. This bar allows you to just focus simply on producing leg drive without worrying too much about anything else. So let's talk about packaging and shipment. The bar being pretty much a normal bar with a bunch of curves, there's really no assembly or anything involved. While the box was slightly damaged when it arrived, the bar was starting to protrude out of the cheap cardboard box. It didn't actually have any scratch or any damage in it. When it comes to build quality, the bar is made out of A3 steel with chrome finish. I personally like my bars to have a chrome finish, as anything else, any kind of coloring or coating will scrape off and will show scratch marks of the plates being loaded and deloaded after a while. I think it's pretty standard needle bearings and the copper bushing, and not that I care too much, they spin really well. It doesn't have the bells and whistles when it comes to grabbing, which actually makes it really convenient for me because I can just rack this bar behind my power rack, and it makes it very space efficient. The sleeves has a texture to them, which may help with the position adherence of the collars, I guess. But for me, it's just a fun little touch. The bar has a capacity of 700 pounds, which is more than enough for someone like me. And although the sleeves are shorter than any standard Olympic bar, I didn't get close to that kind of weight with my bumper plates yet. I think they had to adjust the sleeve length to make the bar's weight identical to an Olympic bar, because this bar weighs exactly 45 pounds and I must say I really like that. I don't know how anybody memorizes that 225s and 245s is 185 pounds, but I'm not one of those people. I have a paper printout that shows me exactly what each combination of any weight adds up to, and I love that I can just use the same sheet for this bar as well. By comparison, rep bar is 58.4 pounds. Generic standard open trap bars are usually around 55s. The closest I've seen is Bells of Steel at 47 pounds, which is close enough, but this bar is truly 45 and I love that. I find the knurl on this bar to be quite aggressive, to be honest, especially when you have chalked up your hands. You feel like it's digging into your skin and your hands. You'll feel that it holds on very secure when you're doing, back squats, since it has a center knurl. I don't think they're uncomfortable, but it's something to know. On each contact surface, on the center and on the sides, there's a center gap, which helps you align yourself really well. And these gaps on the sides where your hands go, I think they mark the center of gravity. And although they're not perfect under load, I think they do a fairly good job. And especially when you're holding on, you can just align your hands in relation to each other, and you'll always find the perfect grabbing spot. When it comes to stiffness, this bar really doesn't bend much under tension as much as you would expect. There's a little bit of a bounce, but honestly, this is much stiffer than I thought this bar would be, considering the geometry. It has a 28 millimeter diameter shaft, which is pretty standard with barbells, and overall, I haven't had any issues with it. Some of the exercises that I really like doing with this bar include rows, shrugs, even bench press works really well. When it comes to back squat, things like lunges, sometimes the center of gravity of the bar is a bit lower than you would be used to. So for me, it took a little while to get used to. I personally still like doing back squats with a conventional bar, but with lunges, I find that this bar gives you a greater sense of control. So one of the exercises I like doing with this bar is overhead press. If you're like me and you work out in your basement, one of the things that you will be suffering from is low ceiling height. And this bar is designed so that when you load the bar with weights, there will be a little bit of clearance between the bar itself and the weights. So when you're in the top position, the weights will not actually hit the ceiling. Just for this purpose, I actually bought camber attachments for my bars, but I find that this bar, being just a 45-pound bar, helps really well with your overhead press. But for me, overall, deadlifts, bench press, shrugs and lunges, they're pretty much all the exercises that I exclusively use this bar for. So all in all, it's a pretty solid bar. I think something like this is definitely going to be helpful if you're looking for something to complete your gym setup and specialty bars caught your eye. This bar helps you with your technique, allowing you to focus only on executing the exercises without overthinking it too much. The Tokyo bar became one of my de facto equipment for most exercises, especially if I'm doing supersets and need 2 sets of bars for multiple exercises in the same day. So overall, if you're considering this bar, they offer a 100-day trial and a lifetime warranty. I didn't have to deal with anything like that, but Kensui is a known brand, so I don't doubt that they would honor those. If you have any comments, questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to address them. You can find the links to their websites in the description. I hope you liked the video and good luck with your training.